Hey guys, this is Palki Naruto, back again for another Magic the Gathering video. Wanted to show my Delver list that I have been top forward with twice. And, yeah, so just wanted to show you guys this. I kind of feel like I've hit the perfect list, my standard. It has a lot of good percentages, but I'm going to show it to you a little bit different. Leave in the comments if you like it better this way or the other way I did it. But here we go. So first off, for Ponder, going to start with the Instants and Sorceries. Ponder is, I put it first because it's my favorite, because it's the best, and because it's kind of like one of the, it's probably the core instant or sorcery. It can, you know, set up your Delver. You really get to sift through cards. You're going to be flashing it back a lot with your Snapcasters. It sets up turns. It sets up removal. It's a dig spell. You can also shuffle. People often talk about Preordain, how great that was. I actually like Ponder better. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the extra card you get to see, which really shouldn't be a big deal. But, so yeah, there's 4 Ponders. That's the first of 22 Instants and Sorceries. Next up, got 4 Thought Scours. Not gonna lie, first time I ran this deck, I ran 2 Thought Scours. Thought Scour is such a, how to put this any other way than, it's a random card. You have as good of a chance of getting rid of those 2 lands you don't want on top and drawing the instant or sorcery as you of milling a Snapcaster and a Restoration Angel and drawing yourself a pretty little island that doesn't do shit. You almost never want to mill your opponent because the odds that you could fill your graveyard with an instant or sorcery for your Snapcast flashback or your another card I'll show you later on, you know, getting rid of cards you don't need on top is good, but it is probably my least favorite instant or sorcery, not gonna lie, but you have to run forward. You really need to dig in this deck and look, because there's a lot of great cards and you need to get them out fast. So there's them, 4 Thought Scours. Next up we have one of my personal favorites, 4 Gitaxian Probe. I loved running mono black, or any really black deck, because you got to run things that could look at people's hands, whether it be Despise, Inquisition, or, oh god, what's the other one? Duress. Duress is back now, so you may be saying, why am I not running black? Because black, it's still kind of poop. Even with Appetite for Brains and all that, and Despise, it's just not, it's not the same, it's not as good. But, Gitaxian Probe lets you see their hand, and you get to draw a card, and it's Phyrexian mana, and it's blue. So you may be saying, oh, why is Ponder better? It really doesn't, like, help you sift through your deck at all, but it's always nice to know what's in your opponent's hand, know what's coming. It can be a free draw spell. I can tell you how many times I've gone turn 1, pay 2 life, probe you, draw a Delver, turn 1 Delver, turn 2 flip, and then just off to the races. So Gitaxian Probe is really good. Next up we have, getting all the 4 outs out of the way, 4th, Vapor Snags. Probably one of the least effective cards. I mean, one guy said it's probably the best card. It's unsummoned to me. You know, I get it. They lose a life, and that's cool. And sometimes it can kill your opponent, and it's always fun when you do that. And it's annoying to your opponent. I can tell, being on the other end when I played Wolf Run, it's an annoying as hell card, but as a Delver player, let me tell you, it is such a kind of drab card. Next up, the shocker, 3 Mana Leaks. Only 3. You hit enough. Lots of times you're going to draw it late. I didn't feel like I needed it that much, but I couldn't bear myself to bring it down to 2. Really, I had another spell I wanted in place of the 4th one, but it's still a good card, of course. You know, you need counter spells in this format. It was hilarious when people thought you didn't because Cavern of Souls is in the standard, so, but here's your counter spell. It's 3 Mana Leaks. Next up, 2 Dismember. These are the permanent Dismembers, if you can't tell. Yeah, it's 4 life. Yeah, it's not Gut Shot. Yeah, you need a mana to pay for it. But guess what? It can actually kill things in this standard. And you're saying, oh, Lingering Soul token. Lingering Souls isn't as popular at my store or really all around as it is, as you would imagine, Dismember can actually kill things that you're worried about. You're not worried about anything that's 1 power. Yeah, I get it, you can finish off your opponent late in the game, but I'd rather have something that's actually going to be, you know, proactive to getting my creatures in, because that's kind of the point of this aggro control deck. That's it for the instance. Oh, no, wait, there's one more. Mutagen Growth. This is in place of the 4th Ponder. I like that you can save your creature, and it can be a surprise win condition. It's just Phyrexian mana, so, you know, Mutagen Growth. I've kind of added this a bit last minute, but, yeah. Then, we get to the creatures. 16 creatures. Start off, 4 Delver. It's Delver. I freaking hate myself for playing this deck. I hate this card. I hate everything. Here's my 4 Delvers. You know what they do. You reveal one of these. You can't see them, but you reveal one of those, and then it's a 3/2 flying fuck your face. Next up, the 4 Snapcaster Mages. Snapcaster, you can bring back Ponder, Thought Scour, Vapor Snag, Gitaxian Probe, Mutagen Growth, Mana Leak, Dismember. I can't tell you how good this card is. Plus, you can just flash it in and put an equipment on it. Really good card. Since my brother hasn't been to FNM the past couple weeks, I've been able to run it. Next up, which is really why I'm running Delver. Next up, 4 Restoration Angels. This card is so good. It took the place of a Mirror Angel, which in Callblade, you know, it was that bigger threat that could create a little bit more threats. Well, this saves your threats, and it's a kind of big threat. Not as good as Mirror Angel. I'd rather have a Mirror Angel in this format, but you know what? Beggars can't be choosers. It's just a really good card. You can flash it in. It's super powerful, especially with the next card, which is my final 4 of creature, Blade Splicer. Blade Splicer is... it's just awesome. I mean, I really like Blade Splicer. I was running Geist the past 2 FNMs I've played in. Just put Blade Splicer in after FNM, my past FNM. So much better than Geist. I don't know why I was running Geist. And you can say, well, Geist is more powerful. Geist is easily blocked, easily killed, even though it has hexproof. You know, this actually creates a recurring threat. Plus, it gives Restoration Angel actual value. And then the final non-land cards of the deck. The 3 equipment. I'm just going to show you them all at once. 2 Runechanter's Pike, 1 sword. I was running 2 sword, 2 Runechanter's Pike, but it just really isn't necessary to run the second sword. Swords have definitely gone down in value. Runechanter's Pike actually applies so much threat level. It's good against the aggressive decks. That first strike really comes in handy. Yeah, the sword gives you protection. Yeah, sometimes the swords come in handy. But I gotta say, from my standpoint, Runechanter's Pike has been so much better. Next up is the lands. I run 19, 4 and 8 islands. Islands, you run no planes. You don't need planes. Islands are the best. There's not a lot of white stuff in this deck, just the 4 Blade Splicers and Restoration Angels. They only cost 1 white, so you just run these 8 islands, you know, because if you need a basic, here you go. It fills up the slots. Then we have our 3 Moorland Haunts. It can make a Spirit. Honestly, a lot of people say this is probably one of the greatest cards in the deck. I hate it. Whatever it used to do against me, or used to do against people I know, it never does for me. Let me tell you. By the time my Moorland Haunt is able to be fueled, I'm staring down a board say like Thragtusk, Blade Splicer, Restoration Angel. Yeah, fucking 1/1. That's great. And then we have the dual lands, the 4 Seagrim Coast and the 4 Glacial Fortresses. You need them to apply your white source, and of course it's blue, and fuel your Moorland Haunt. So these are my white sources. I don't, you know, if I get Ghost Courted, I guess I'm boned, aren't I? If they Ghost Quarter one of my white sources. And yeah, that is my Delver deck. Here's all the creatures. 4 Delver, 4 Snapcaster, 4 Restoration Angel, 4 Blade Splicer. Here's the instants and sorceries. 2 Dismember, 3 Mana Leak, a Mutagen Growth, 4 Thought Scour, 4 Ponder, 4 Vapor Snag, 4 Probe. There's my equipment, Sword of War and Peace, 2 Pike. And here's my lands, 8 Islands, 3 Haunts, 4 Seachrome, 4 Glacial. So, let me know what you think, guys. This deck's been doing really good. I recommend you run it. This is Palkia Naruto, signing off. Best deck in standard, by the way.